Okay, so as mentioned, we'll be discussing about market segmentation, targeting, differentiation, positioning in this session. Okay, so this actually gives you an overview about what the organizations do when they want to market their product before they start selling. Okay, so what is market segmentation? Actually, when you have a complete market and you divide your market into different small chunks with respect to the needs of the consumer and the type of the consumer that they are present in that particular market. Okay, so we all know, we discussed about marketing mix, right? The 4 P's and 7 P's. Yes, the product, place, price, promotion, and many more, right? So these marketing mix is like very much important in market segmentation. Based on this marketing mix only, the market is kind of divided into smaller chunks. Okay, so let's get into more detail on this. Okay, so I was discussing, we'll be like looking into these 4 different things, right? Segmentation, targeting, differentiation, and positioning. Actually, this comes in the same order. For example, what is the real purpose for a marketing department in an organization, or for any organization? Yes, they have to like get their product marketed to the people so that they'll buy it, right? Yes, but as a company, they have to know what kind of customers they are serving, and they have to decide on what kind of value that they are planning to deliver it to them. Yes, you are going to give the product, but imagine, it's not just a product. For example, if you are like using a like smart watch, and it has been like sold to you, it's not just a product, right? For you, you can just like record how many hours that you're sleeping every day, and then every month, and how is your sleep cycle. You can track that, and you can track what's your BMI, and how many steps I'm walking, and what is my workout. And you can track a lot of other things which actually gives you benefits on related to your health. Okay, right? So it's not just a watch. You can't just like, you can answer a phone, a call as well, but still, I mean, you can communicate with people, but a lot of people like always associate the smartwatch to a health band, right? So depends on the value that you are providing to the consumer, irrespective of the product. You actually have to differentiate your product, right? So we'll see all these 4 things in detail. Okay, segmentation. When you say segmentation, it is nothing but when you divide your market into smaller chunks, you call that segmentation. Targeting is the a small chunk that you have divided from your market, and you select that particular chunk and then sell your product there. That is targeting. Okay, dividing them is segmentation, and targeting them, I mean, selecting that particular segment is targeting. Selection is targeting. Differentiation is how you're differentiating your particular product or a service from rest of the products of your competitors. That is differentiation. And position is actually, that's where the marketers aim at, where the product gets positioned in the minds of a consumer. For example, you say Apple, it's always a luxury product. That's how we think like that. And when you say Acer laptops, yes, it's kind of affordable, cheap. That's what it comes to your mind. I mean, so it's about like where the product or the service gets placed in minds of the people. Okay, that is positioning. So we'll be like discussing about these 4 different things today. Okay, so in market segmentation, we will be like looking into how you can segment a consumer market. I mean, when you sell a product to your consumers, it's C2C business, B2C, business to consumer. There is a different type of segmentation. And if you're selling a product to a business, there is a different type of segmentation. And then if you are selling a product in an international market, you have to sell a you have to do a market segmentation. You can sell the same product in Africa as well as in San Francisco, right? And then we also be looking into what are the different kinds of requirements that each of this segmentation need to make it effective. Okay, so this consumer markets. This consumer markets can be divided into different segments based on 4 different types. So, for example, I mean, you can divide a consumer market into different small chunks through different types. You can classify market based on the geography, or based on the people in it, or based on the behavior, and lot many more, right? So when you segment your market based on the location, for example, if India, if you are planning to sell a product in India, and you divide the country into 4 different chunks: north, east, south, and west, that is geographical segmentation. Whereas demographic, it's about based on the traits, I mean, characteristics of a people, like men, women, kids, adults, or based on the, I mean, based on the age or gender, or based on the income groups. So these are the demographics, right? So if you like classify your market based on this, that is called demographic segmentation. Psychographic is, it's about like how people react, I mean, sorry, based on the traits of the person. For example, if he's an introvert or an extrovert, imagine there's a lot of you are an author and you want to like promote your book. Do you likely want to promote it to an introvert or an extrovert? Most of the times, I'm not saying, I'm not stereotyping, but most of the times, people who are interested in reading book many more books than needed, you can call them as introverts, right? And for example, and if you are like planning to open a barbecue restaurant in the city, and do you think we'll be like sending out promotional offers to the introverts? I mean, yes, you have to. Yes, we don't say that they don't dine in restaurant at all, but the chances of extroverts going to restaurant are kind of more. For example, if an extrovert dines in at least 200 times a year, maybe the introvert might be dining in 50 times a year. Okay, the rate of usage of a particular product or a service is kind of less in this category. So you can like categorize markets based on the psychological traits. And next one is behavioral pattern, how people behave. For example, here, imagine you are like planning to buy a birthday card for someone's birthday. So you, if the birthday I mean, the person who's having a birthday is your mom, you'd be looking for a different kind of gift. And if the person who's having a birthday is your boyfriend or a girlfriend, you'll be looking for a different kind of gifts. Okay, because you're planning to give a different kind of effect or a behavior or a feel to that particular person, right? If you're planning a surprise birthday party for your family, to your father and mother for their anniversary or for their birthdays, it would be completely different. And if you're doing it for your boyfriend or girlfriend, it would be completely different. And if it's your brothers or sisters, cousins, yes, it's different. It's because of the different type. Because the people that you're planning for is kind of different people. They have different traits. They are completely like you can like classify them completely apart based on the age, the gender, or maybe like how do they react, and your relationship with them, right? Okay, so that's how you can classify your market into different types based on different classifications. Okay, so this is market segmentation. So here I've just like given definition on what is geographical segmentation, what is demographic segmentation, the age and life segmentation, life cycle stage definition, segmentation, or gender segmentation, which is part of demographics, income segmentation, and next is our psychographic, right? So it's based on a social class, lifestyle, or a personality traits. Yes. So for example, you can if you want to like buy a phone, the person who's earning more and has a premium lifestyle will not buy a phone of 5,000 or 10,000, right? I mean, I'm not stereotyping, but some people, yes, there are some people like Warren Buffett. We are not saying like that, but still, okay. We're just talking about the majority of the people, how do they behave. And next one is like the behavioral segmentation that I've discussed. I mean, it is actually like you classify bias based on the occasions that they have, and what are the benefits that you're looking for, right? The user status, usage rate, loyalty status, and many more. Okay, so now we are like segmenting the business market. So we're just talking about the B2C market. now we are talking about the B2B market. I mean, here also we have the same thing. uh, we have occasional segmentation when based on the situation and environment or economy. uh, you can segment your market based on the benefits that the market is looking for. You can do that. A psychographic based on the behavior or a personality trait of the founder or the top executive team, yes. And and the behavioral segmentation as we discussed in our consumer markets, right? So actually you see, when you take a normal um, in a normal situations, do you think that education institutions would have like went for digital mode, online sessions, virtual classes? No, right? But right now things have completely changed. This is completely because of this occasion. Okay, this is so right now everything went digital. So the people are the students are buying more laptops and good quality phones because they have to attend their classes virtually. So at this time the companies have to like do the segmentation based on the occasion, right? So like this we have lot more many examples. Benefit segmentation is like we discussed about the smartwatch, right? If a person is like kind of freaked about how healthy he is, yes, if you have a smartwatch, you will be like highlighting features of a like calorie tracking and heart rate, your BMI, measuring your BMI rate, sleep cycle, everything, right? So based on the benefits that you're going to give, it might be buying a smartwatch as like lot of benefits, but based on the benefits that the particular person is looking for, it actually based on the behavior of the person, right? And based on psychographic, yes, it is all related to each other. You cannot just like keep things separately apart. Okay, this is this belongs into this bucket and this belongs to this bucket. Now you can't do that, but there are different kinds of segmentations. Okay, this is the multiple segmentation basis. That's what I was about to talk about. Okay, so here this segmentation is used to identify a smaller, better defined target groups. Okay, so I want to sell the smartwatch to a person who's in the age of in the age between 20 to 40, who is a healthy, who's like is kind of freaked about his overall health and well-being, and then who is kind of a little techie, and then a person who lives in South India. You can do that. Okay, so you're doing segmentation based on the geography, psychographic and demographic, right? Yes, the multiple segmentation is actually it's done by uh, every company to identify a smaller group of market. You call that niche. Okay, they use this to identify a niche to target the consumer. Okay, so actually, like there is a system, Akron, where uh, the UK households has been like divided into different segments based on its consumption. Okay, so this has been like used by a lot of companies in UK to understand the market and then choose the right segment to target their product. Okay. Okay, so next we are talking about international markets. Okay, in international market, you can like always go for geographical location, yes, because we all know we have like almost 190 plus countries in the world. Yes, you can just do that, but I don't think that you always have to go for based on the country wise or the geography wise, because when you see you take India, do you think the people living in Kanyakumari reacts the same way to product uh, when you compare with the person who's living in Jammu and Kashmir? No, it's completely different. Okay, you want to sell a refrigerator to a person in Kanyakumari, yes, he will buy it. But a person living in Jammu and Kashmir, do you think that he will buy it even though if he has money? No, right? He might be going for a heater. So things change based on the geography. So we can't rely only on geography for international market. Next one is this economic factors. Yes. See, we always like take you just decide, okay, I want to go to Europe and then sell my product. Not all countries in the Europe has the same kind of economy. You can say, okay, UK has a good economy, Germany has a good economy, France, yes, but you can't like sell a product to people in Greece with the same price as when compared to the rest of the European countries. You know, because right now Greece is in great economic depression. So you have to like choose based on the economic factors as well, and political and legal factors. Yes, if some company is trying to sell a product in South Asia, do you think that they would consider Pakistan and India as the same um, in the same scenario? No, because the political factor in Pakistan is completely different. We really don't know what's going to happen next, and then it's not stable when compared to the Indian government, right? And as well as legal factors, since they kind of go hand in hand. We are not sure whether they allow a foreign product to be sold in India in a country with less customs. In India, we have this liberalization, privatization, globalization policies, um, implemented in 1990s by Dr. Manmohan Singh when he was the like finance minister. He did it, and because of that, any person from any part of the world can come and enter India and sell a product, can come and open a factory. But that's not the case when you compare to any other country, right? Yeah, yeah. Because with respect to the population, we could have never self-sustained with whatever we had before 90s, right? So yes, that was a good sign, but still, we are still know whether this globalization was a good effect or a bad effect, because China never had globalization in those days, but they're kind of thriving well, and they're kind of going global right now. But we are inviting global companies to come here, and then we are becoming consumers and just a back office. I'm not sure. Okay, apart from that, cultural factors, yes. You know, when each part of the world has a different culture. In when you say North America, we have like Thanksgiving, right? So this Thanksgiving is not a prominent tradition or a holiday in Europe when compared to the North America. Okay, so they kind of Western, they have Western culture. Yes, things are totally different, right? Okay, yeah. Intermarket segmentation. Yes, we discussed, and then okay. So what are the requirements for doing this segmentation very effectively? First, the segmentations that we are doing should be measurable. We should be able to tell, okay, my market is divided into 10 different segments. You should be able to tell that. Then only you can say, okay, I've completed my segmentation. And the segments that you have created should be accessible. Okay, your company should be able to go and reach to that consumers, and you should be substantial. You should be able to make profit by selling it to them, and it should be differentiable. I mean, it's not like just like dividing the pie into many parts, right? You should be able to like tell the difference between each of the segments with each other. Okay, and this segmentation should be actionable. Okay, for this segment I'm going to do this, for the segment with only women I'm going to do that, with segment with only women like who's above 60 years of age, I'm going to do this as a marketing strategy. You should be able to do that, right? Okay, when you have all these five things, you can say, okay, you have done your segmentation for your company effective. Okay, now we'll be looking into the topic market targeting. Okay, this target market actually contains a group of buyers, but most of them will have the same trait, same need. Okay, so far we have been discussing only about how we can like divide the market into different segments. So but after dividing, you have to check whether they have the same needs. Each of the segment has the same traits, While saying like these segments should be different from each other, but should be like same within. It's like a clustering, right? So we have been working on clustering algorithms, right? The same concept here. Okay, so this target market uh, is actually like selected for promotion or for selling. You when you do that, you call that as a targeting. Okay, so how will you evaluate a market segment that you have got, okay, before starting your promotional activities? First, you have to look into the size of your segment. Okay, do you have enough people there? And then am I going to get some growth opportunity there? Okay, so imagine a company who's selling what do you say, products for age old people. Okay, so maybe after 4 or 5 years you have a chance that the number of consumers in that category decrease. Okay, so there is no growth, but you have a growth, but when you re-segment your market by bringing in the new old people there, right? So there is a growth, but you have to really check and segment it frequently, right? If you're doing it on the age. Okay, next you have to look into this segment's attractiveness, right? Uh, which means if you have too many competitors there, that segment is not attractive. And if you have too many substitute products, when you say substitute products, you can consume a different product for the product that you're selling. For example, you can take um, pizza with hamburgers. For example, you're just like going to McDonald's and you want to like order a hamburger, and it's not there. Maybe you can just like go to nearby Pizza Hut and order pizza, right? So these are substitute products. I always feel so, right? But when you have this substitute products and too many competition, that market should not be like kind of, that segment should not be chosen, because there is no attractiveness. I mean, you should not be like competing in that place. Okay, and you have to check whether this segment and this targeting activity aligning with my company's objective and whatever resources that I'm having right now. You have to check, you have to align your company objectives with your market targeting, and then with enough resources. For example, you divided your market into 10 different segments, and but you have only three employees working for your marketing team. Okay, so maybe you should be like able to like, if you are, I'm just like giving an example, if you are like planning to assign only one segment for each of the person, then either you should have three segments or either you should have 10 employees. In this case, maybe you can try to like merge the segments and create 9 different segments, so that you can assign at least three segments for each of them. Or you can align three segments for each of the employees and four segments for one of the employee. Yes, you can do that based on the thing. So you should be able to do all that. Okay. Next one is this undifferentiated marketing. Okay, so this actually happens when you don't want to like segment your market and then do targeting. You want to target the whole consumer, whole market. Okay, that is called undifferentiated marketing. So here you can call it as a mass marketing. Okay, because you're reaching out to the masses. Okay, so if your product is like is kind of solving a common need, you should be doing this. Okay, maybe you can say rice. Yes, yes, South Indian people mostly eat rice. And if you want to sell rice, yes, even people of all ages mostly eat rice. Okay, yes, you can do that. And with relevance to undifferentiated marketing, we have differentiated marketing as well. So that's what we are trying to been talking since the beginning. So when you like divide your market into different segments, and then you approach, you plan different active promotional activities, marketing activities for each of the segments according to your products that you have. you call that as a differentiated marketing. So here you would be able to achieve more revenue, more sales when compared to the undifferentiated marketing. Okay, but to do that you have to spend a lot of money to segment the market, to align in the strategy, to create a promotions, everything. Okay, so this is kind of little expensive, but it really gives you good results, because when you do all the work only, because you'll be able to get more sales and more revenue, and you'll be able to like get good market share. Okay, so next is the target market strategies. Okay, so when you say concentrated marketing, when you like uh, trying to target a small segment of a large market, you call that as a concentrated marketing. Okay, so you will be doing this only when you have a limited company resource, when you have very less resources, and then you completely know what the market is about, and then you're targeting a niche of it to sell. For example, you have what do you say, Royal Enfield bikes. Yes, it targets a very small market, right? People who are interested in going for road trips with exotic bikes. Yes, you can say that, right? So when you know the market completely, and when you do this your strategy becomes very effective. Okay, so next is called as a micro marketing. So this is actually a practice of tailoring your products and promotions to taste the to suit the taste of the particular people. Okay, so this is of two types, local marketing and individual marketing. So when you say local marketing, when it happens based when this kind of a small marketing promotions happening in a small locality for a particular state, you can call it as a local marketing. So you're doing this only in that particular area. For example, this applies for a lot of election. Okay, a political party, when they are trying to do campaigns to get votes from the citizens of the country, and for example each of the district, right, or each of the state have a different people excuse me, different people contesting for elections, right? So right now we can say, okay, in Tamil Nadu we have different political parties when compared to Kerala. Okay, so the Kerala political parties cannot come and campaign here. In most of the countries it is not the case, but India has a lot of too many political parties in too many regions. Okay, so so this local marketing actually involves tailoring brands and promotion according to the local groups, right? So for example, if you're a permanent customer of lifestyle and pantaloons, you will be must be getting a lot of campaigns and discounts and offers about what's really happening in the pantaloons of lifestyle store in your city. Okay, though they are like present nationally, you'll be like getting sales and discounts about that your city only. So that is local marketing. But when you see an ad in the internet, or when you see a ad in the TV, it's different. Okay, so when you have a stores, maybe a grocery store in your locality, and they have a offer saying, if you buy two Maggi packets, I'll be giving you a shampoo sachet free. If he is doing it to a promotion of that particular for stock clearance, yes. And if he says, okay, if you buy more than 1,000 rupees, you'll be getting a door delivery. Yeah, so this is all local marketing, which happens only for the local consumer group. Whereas individual marketing is what really happening right now. When the product or a marketing promotion is being tailored to the preferences of a common man individually. Okay, so you will be like getting a notification from your mobile phone service provider saying, if you are using a prepaid card, a prepaid SIM card, you might get, okay, if you kind of recharge in the next 2 days, you'll be getting a talk time of 50 rupees for recharging it for 20 rupees. Okay. So they found out, okay, you're not been recharging for a while, and if I'm going to give this offer, you might recharge. So this is like based on the uh, each of the consumer, they are giving this. So this is all happening because of the digital marketing and data analytics. We have data analytics behind this, right? So they found out, okay, you're not using, and then you are a person that is gonna get um, lost to a competitor because you're not using your, this SIM card, and you're not being recharging for more than 6 months. So you might get an offer like this, right? So this is kind of called as a one-to-one marketing, or sometimes it is mass customization. Yes, if they just like found out the list of people who have not been recharged for 6 months, and if Airtel is doing this kind of campaign for all these people, so maybe in Coimbatore there will be like at least 1,000 people like us, right? So if that is happening, you can call this mass customization. So this is actually called as markets of one marketing. Okay. This choosing a target market depends on various factors. The first one is company resources. If you should be having enough resources, money, men, and many more to serve this target market, and product variability. I mean, the product should be like different enough to sell it to a particular consumer only. Okay, and if you're a company who packs and sells rice, yes, everybody sells rice. Even farmers sometimes sell it directly. But if you're like targeting health conscious consumers with brown rice, yes, here the product is different. Yes, you can do market segmentation, but if you're selling rice, you don't have to do that, right? And product life cycle stage, yes, that's very important. So you should know that every product has a life cycle. It is introduced in the market, and then it's kind of promoted, where everybody's kind of trying to buy the product and use it, and next is a maturity stage where everybody uses the product, and then the product dies. It is applicable to any product that you can see if it is not made changes. You take cameras, just like 10 years before, the cameras were totally different, right? We had films, and then you have to like buy the films, insert there, take pictures, and then like go and develop it. After that came your uh, digital cameras. Yes, right now that also kind of went irrelevant, because right now we have some mobile phones which has better clarity than the digital cams. But there are like other digital cams like Canon and sorry, I forgot the one more brand. Okay, sorry. So you have a digital cam where you can just like with very high resolution, and it costs more than lakhs. It costs in lakhs, right? So that is a different product. I'm just talking about normal cameras 10 years back. It's kind of died, right? So you have to know where your product life is right now in this life cycle. Okay, how many more years that your product has life. Okay, and then you have to look into the different types of markets, how market changes. Yes, and then you also have to listen to what your customer is competitor is doing to your consumer. If they are like providing very good deals and discounts, or if they are providing good service, yes, they obviously go for that particular competitor. So you have to really check what are their market strategies, and you should be aligning your market strategy and then target marketing accordingly. Okay, so now right now there's a lot of companies are going for the social responsibility marketing, because that's has become a new trend right now, but I'm not sure how far it has been benefiting. But actually, like, very few people ignore this, everybody should know about ITC, so they have a brand called Classmate for notebooks. So if you buy one Classmate notebook, they they spend minimum of 1 rupee in the welfare of a child. I mean, especially in the education area. Okay, so when you have this kind uh, of care or concern for the vulnerable segments, actually people or a consumer think, okay, this product, this company is doing something good to the society just because I'm using it, right? So they'll think and that, and then sometimes they go and buy that particular product. Yes, it actually like led to the rise uh, of sales and the revenue for the company as it happened. So that you call it as socially responsible marketing. Okay, a small example of the target market here. Okay, so we have Ariel and Tide. Everybody knows this brand because it's kind of been used by all of our moms since the beginning until now. Okay, so when you see consumption of Tide is among a group of women who belongs to 18 to 54 years, whereas for Ariel it is 25 to 50 years. See, women below 25 years are kind of not buying Ariel. So most of the time they, when below 25, they should be either studying or they should have just started their job. So they might have less money compared to the women who's kind of married, right? So you can say that. Yes, so yes, it's female. I'm not sure why only people associate detergent to a female only. I completely feel men also should take care of this. I'm sure men who's living alone, and even men who's like part of families, they are doing laundry right now. There's a lot of ads also right now in sharing the laundry, but I don't know. Okay, so here, excuse me. So when people are kind of more concerned about having um, I mean having their stains removed, they always go for Ariel. When the people are only concerned about whiteness of the clothes, they say they go for Tide. So here they don't like get into stains. People they are not in that kind of jobs maybe. So if you're a chef, obviously you should go for an Ariel. So here quality conscious people buy Ariel, whereas price conscious people buy Tide. Okay, so when you like divide your consumer based on the income, you can get this category, right? Or divide your people based on the occupation, yes, you will get this category. Okay, so this is kind of a small example of target market. Okay, next one is we have a quote from Walter Landa. He said, products are made in factory, but brands are created in the mind. Okay, so which means we'll be like talking about positioning right now. So just because you have a product made in your factory or a company doesn't mean that you'll be able to sell it. Selling is a different ball game. Okay, so you have to make your product positioned in the minds of the consumer. Okay, okay. Product position is a way the product is defined by the consumer. Okay, it's about what do they feel about the product when they use it. Okay, what do they think about the product, right? When you say Adidas or Nike, you always have a feel of okay, achieving more going forward, just because when you usually wear it when you are exercising, when you're working out, right? So you associate that kind of feelings. Okay, that's what the advertisements of these products also does it. Okay, so, do you have the same kind of feeling when you think about Netflix or Prime? When you think about that, you always think about relaxing on a sofa, having a good time, a weekend, spending time with family, right? That's completely different. And do you feel the same way when you think about Apple and Nokia? No, when you think about Apple, we always like think about Steve Jobs and how and the classiness and other things. But when you think about Nokia, you always though they have very good cell phones, most of the people when you say Nokia, they always go to the 1100 phones, which kind of existed 15 years back. I'm not sure whether you have seen this or not. I have seen this. I've used it, and that was my first cell phone. So whenever you say Nokia, I always go to that 1100, irrespective of whatever they're doing, right? So it's about what the perception the people have when you say that particular brand or the company name. Okay, so that is called as a product position. So this happened with Tide and Ariel. We just discussed, right? Okay. So here I have a map of SOV brands, luxury SOV brands. Okay. So I have in x-axis I have orientation, in y-axis I have the price. Okay. Here we have luxury and performance in x-axis. Okay. So I have Land Rover here, which is kind of mapped here with performance being high and price is also high. Yes. We have Lexus, price high and luxury high with less performance. Okay. So this is actually positioning map. Okay, so a positioning map is nothing but a map which shows the consumer perception about the brand and the other products in the competition. Okay, so you can have any many categories. We just like taken only three different categories. I mean, two different categories on orientation and price. On since it is a luxury SUV, we have just performance and luxury. Okay, and if you are taking small cars, you should be having price in y-axis. Obviously, you should be having performance. You should be having safety and blah blah many more. Okay, so which you can take any number of features, but here just we just took one. Okay, so when you do this kind of mapping, you call that as a positioning mapping to identify how the consumer perceive your product when compared to the your competitor's product. Okay. So how we have to choose this differentiation and positioning strategy? Okay, we have 4 steps to follow. Okay, we'll be like seeing this one by one right now. Okay, first step is like identifying the possible value differences in competitive advantage. Okay, first you have to know what are the different types of competitors I have in my segment. We already like create divided the market into different segments, and now we are targeting that particular segment. So we have to understand the segment more. That's why we have to know what kind of people are there. Yes, and then what kind of products are there in that particular segment, my competitor products. Okay, and what kind of things are my consumers expecting, what can how can I make their lives better. That all you have to identify. So we have a term called competitors advantage. So it is nothing but an advantage that the people get, okay, over the competitors. Just because they are buying your product doesn't mean they like your product. They might be like switching to the your competitor's product, but if they are kind of starting to buy your product all the time, just it might be because it is kind of lower price when compared to the rest of the products in the competition, or it might be of a higher price, but they might be kind of getting more benefits, more value by giving you higher price. Okay, so the value that you give it to the consumer when compared to the your competitors, you can call that as a competitive advantage. It's a benefit that they're getting out from you, and you only have it, but your competitors doesn't have it. Okay, so next we're talking about different types of competitive advantages. Okay, I mean, you have to like figure out what are the different types of competitive advantage that you can like uh, create by building a position in the minds of the consumer. The first one is like a product differentiation. You can like differentiate a product, okay, completely from the rest of the competitors' products. If it is service, yes, service differentiation. Sometimes this both of the things go together in most of the products. You take a phone, right? It's not just a product, right? It actually service, and when things go wrong, each of the phone companies have a service center. Okay, and somebody says, okay, the service provided by this phone company is kind of not good, there is no good warranty service, and you can't claim a warranty. What happens? The product might not go well, the sales might go down, right? Okay, next is channel differentiation. Yes, phones again. So there are like few phones that you can buy only in e-commerce portals like Amazon or Flipkart. Yes, OnePlus. Always you have to go to online to buy it, right? Am I? Yeah, in TV category also it happens, right? So you're kind of creating a channel differentiation here. Okay, how you are kind of making it reach your consumers. So that is channel. You're differentiating a channel, and the people differentiation. What kind of people use your product? Only healthy freaks use health bands. You kind of create that kind of image, right? And sneakers, yes, only the um, young adults use it. We have that kind of differentiation. Next one is image differentiation. So when you own that product, what kind of image you project? When you always like when you ride a what do you say, mm, BMW or Audi, people always think that you're rich. Okay, there are like few people who kind of carry over a very high debt and then just ride a BMW. There are a lot of people who sold their kidneys to buy an iPhone. Yes, that's not the case, but still they're doing it just because they want to project themselves kind of superior when compared to the rest of the people. Okay, so these are the five different types of differentiation that a company should be creating. Okay, how can you choose the right competitive advantage? Okay, so the competitive advantage that you're creating should be very important, and it should be different. Okay, you can't just say, okay, I'm selling it, give it in the low price. Okay, everybody gives in the low price, but in the low price category, what is the benefit that you're kind of giving more when compared to your competitors? Okay, you should be distinctive as well, and you should be superior, and your competitive advantage should be able to be communicated to your consumers preemptive here, which means you should have a unique competitive advantage which your competitor should not be able to copy. Yes, you can't always say that they might copy, but you should make it a little difficult for them, that it takes some time and energy and resources for them to copy it. So before they do it, you should be able to like get over that and get more other uh, advantages on your list, right? Okay, and then it should be affordable, yes, and it should be profitable to the company. Yes, I mean it goes hand in hand. If your product is affordable, yes, you can able to make profits. And your competitive advantage is not affordable, and you're kind of investing or pushing more funds to the product, and then you cannot able to get more profits, and then you though you sell more, you will end up in loss, right? So you should not do that. So how you should be selecting your overall positioning strategy? So you have to always think about value proposition. Okay, it's nothing but a full mix of benefits upon which brand is being positioned. Okay, so here you just like look into this chart here. So I have benefits in my y-axis and price in the x-axis. Okay, okay, so here I have more, the same, less in the price, the same, more, the same, the less for benefits. Okay, so more price for more benefits. Yes, people will buy. The price is same, but more benefits. Obviously, this is where people will go more because you're selling it for the same price, but they get more benefits. Oh my god, that's great, right? Less price with more benefits. Yes, that is very cool when compared to the same thing, right? Because I'm giving the same price as my competitor's product. I mean, other product, I'm getting more benefits. Yes, that's good. But here I'm paying very less, but I'm getting more profits, benefits. That's great. So in this three areas and will actually make people to buy your product. But here the same benefits for lesser price, it's kind of okay, it's cool, but less for much less. Yes, here also people will buy. But here, just think same benefits, but for more price. Do you think people will buy it? No, because I'm paying more to get less benefits. You can't be doing it, but still, Apple iPhones are selling. Not sure. Okay. More price with less benefits, that's not the right place to sell your product. Same price, less benefits, that's also not the right place. So these three and plus two, these five categories are the right place that you should be like positioning your products. Okay, so this is a value proposition map. Okay, so how can you develop a positioning statement? So yes, we all have a vision for a company, objectives for the company. For each of the marketing strategy, there should be a positioning statement. So you can just like write a positioning statement for a company by following this format: to dash our dash is dash that dash, which means here you have to fill I mean, you should be talking about the need of the people or the which target market that you're or selling it for, and your brand name, what is the concept that you're putting it in here, and what you're trying to make or your competitive advantage. If you're able to write this and then make people understand this, okay, then the rest of the thing is very easy. Actually, people always say choosing this positioning statement and strategy is very important than implementing it. Okay, so first you have to figure out, okay, what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do that. That is the difficult part. Doing it is very easy. Most of the time, that's the case. Okay, figuring out things is very important. Okay, I just have a small example. Okay, through BlackBerry, a small example positioning statement. Okay, so to busy mobile professionals. Okay, this is my uh, target segment who need to be always in the loop. This is right. BlackBerry, my brand, is a wireless connectivity solution that gives you an easier, more reliable way to stay connected to data, people, and resources while the go. Okay, so this was able to like tell who am I targeting, what is my solution, and what is my concept, and how I'm different from the competition. Okay, all these things kind of fitted in. Okay, yeah, that's all I have. So we have been discussing about four different things. We discussed about what is market segmentation, targeting, and then positioning, and then differentiation. Okay, so it's actually a very important session which helps you to understand the different things which happens in marketing. Okay, if you got any questions, you can ask.